And I can help you. I don't know how this is done.
It says we are live, but I don't see it on the.
We are now live.
Yeah.
And I can help you. I don't know how. I can help you. I don't know how this is done.
Okay. So we can
It says
continue.
we are live, but I don't see it on the.
Sorry for that. That was my first live stream, except the test live stream in the morning while listening on Go 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 Paw Patrol, uh, which
Like
was great music choice. But for those who join and for those who will listen it as a recording, I have to make a quick intro now. So a month ago, we had Type Today asked our authors, designers, like a month ago, what music they listened to while designing their typefaces. And then we created 4 playlists with the tracks that they have sent us. And the first playlist contained music for drawing and sketching, for the ideas, and the second one was music for drawing and expanding the glyph set, and the third one was with music for kerning, and the last one for mastering, hinting, and proofing. So that was the first part. The second part was that after publishing the playlist, we felt like there was still a lot to discuss about type design and music. So that's why we're here. And we are here with 3 Type Today authors, with Kai Bernau, who is an editorial designer, graphic designer, type designer, and an educator. And he is the author of Leon from Today Storefront and co-author of Publica and Atlas collections. And also here is Philipp Neumeyer, an independent type designer, a person who got almost every type design award I know of. He is the author of Norbert, Atessa, Elma, Uni, and Juno. All of them from the Today Storefront also. And also here is Fer Cozzi, a type designer and an educator, and she designed Tomasa from Tomorrow's Storefront. And now we can start. So I'll quickly explain how it will go. I'll ask questions and then we will discuss them all together. And maybe the people listening to us now will also ask questions. And if we'll have time, we will answer them. So my first question is, have you ever been curious about another designer's taste in music? Because that's why I did all this stuff with playlists, because I was interested.
Yeah, I think it's always been really interesting to me to see what other people listen to, just because I feel like it reveals so much about how a person operates, like how they think, what they are curious about. And it's always nice to see that, when you get music recommendations just from somebody, that can be very hit or miss. And I feel like people with whom we have more in common, the music recommendations we get from them can be much more, interesting to us.
I think it's the same thing with music, with everything else. I like to know the person. So the best way is to understand what she or he likes, what is curious about, and that gives you a complete idea on what he's thinking. So I don't ask directly, what's your taste in music? Tell me, do you like Britney? Yes or no? Britney or Justin? But I tend to give me an idea of what people think by when they share music. I try to understand the personality behind it.
Philipp, what do you think?
I think usually in the beginning, or like I think in theory, I'm interested in other people's taste in music, or I don't know, like in general. And I'm also constantly looking for other music, because I feel like the music that I am listening to is, I don't know, I'm sometimes fed up with because it's already old. And also like with all the playlists that Type Today now release from all the other designers, and then I just had a look at all the stuff, and all of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm very very picky. So I don't know. I'm always interested in all kinds of stuff, but I quickly, usually I quickly notice that I might be interested at first, but then, okay, yeah, I listen to other stuff.
Fer, you just mentioned that to learn about someone's music taste is a way to find out more about the person for you. So can you draw connections between the forms of glyphs, like elements of the typeface that a person designs, and the music that this person likes?
I don't know about the connection between music and shapes, but I'm always thinking about rhythm. I'm always listening to music, so I try to understand which rhythm do you like. So I think that maybe if you like certain kind of music, then if I go and look at the texture of your typeface, I can relate of some of your ideas or a state of mind at least. It's not something that is a direct relation between a glyph and the music that you are listening to, but I think the idea of rhythm is present in typeface. So if you have like a more, I don't know, bouncy rhythm in your life, maybe your approach is more like that. Or maybe if you like experimental techno, pop, Italo disco music, your approach maybe it's more like experimental also in the state of the rhythm or the combination of things happening in the letters. But it's also with everything. It's a movie. It's I don't know, art. It's like it's not that only you like music and that's it. If you connect some of other things happening, it can reflect in your work.
I find the question of rhythm super interesting because, well, yeah, that is like really one of the foundational, aspects of type design. It's like, okay, you're creating a rhythm. You're creating a rhythm of black and white shapes, and what I'm often thinking is that sort of the most, the best reading typefaces often are almost they have a very even rhythm. But I often ask myself, but is there such a thing as too even a rhythm? Like, does a typeface become too boring to read? And so at the moment, I'm kind of interested in trying to find something that, has a little bit more swing, that is a little bit more offbeat. Like I'm thinking of, I listened to an interview with Questlove, the drummer, already many years ago, but somebody once said to him, you should play like you're a bit drunk, like slightly off. And I think that is so interesting because it can keep you on the music, like it keeps you from drifting off.
Yeah, I think I agree to that. There's also, I don't know if you know, like Queens of Stone Age, and I also watched a video about someone describing his kind of guitar playing, like from Josh Homme, and someone described it as like a drunken stumble. Like I don't know, he's like this very staccato playing. They very often use, and also like he's like putting sometimes the notes like a little bit where you don't expect them. And I think that's also like it makes it very interesting. And but like the general thing about rhythm and I don't know, the whole concept of rhythm, I also think that it's important, or it can be important for a typeface if that is what you I don't know, trying to achieve, like a perfect rhythm or whatever, but an ongoing rhythm, or a rhythm that is not broken up by something. But to me, music is, I don't know, I think it's a little bit different. It's more like what it creates in me. Like, I don't know, I like for the sketching phase, or maybe like in general, when I want to feel like upbeat and like forward trotting or something, I prefer like aggressive, loud, and fast music, and it just creates this euphoria inside of me, like this, I don't know, like endorphins are getting released, and I just, because it makes me happy, and I just want to draw stuff. And it's not necessarily, or what I'm drawing is not necessarily actually what I don't know might be, or what people might describe the music as. So it could create like some kind of nice rhythm because I just feel like I want to create this nice rhythm, but it's just because I'm feeling positively inspired by music to just draw something.
This is a really interesting distinction, right? Because there is like, when we listen to music and try to listen for like a beat that is slightly off, and that makes us like think about like how can we create a different rhythm in type design. Like, so the distinction between music because I want to think certain things, and like Philipp said, music because I want to feel a certain way. You know, that is really big difference, and this is why I was completely unable to submit to Adelina any playlists, because this distinction between like this is for sketching and this is for drawing and this is for production, it's not really how I like can separate the kind of music that I listen to. For me, it's more like music for thinking and music for feeling, and then sort of for all of the technical work, like music for neither thinking nor feeling, kind of just for like bearing down. And anyway,
in my case, when I submitted my playlist, I didn't divide like 5 for this, 5 for this. I made a playlist, like one and the other and the other. It's like building a mood. I didn't did the task that they asked for, but I did something because it's like that. It's something that you feel. For example, to me, in some point, I end up singing here in my chair drawing, but it's this the feeling that it's like, okay, and it could be Celine Dion, it could be cumbia, I don't care. It's like it's the mood that I'm doing, the things that I'm doing, that goes far away from the music that I choose at the beginning to work with.
But do you stay in the same mood like during the whole process?
I scream. I can be full Mariah Carey suffering, or I can have like, I don't know, Britney and I'm okay, Rihanna and I'm okay. It's like in the mood that it's like the happiness that you're saying. For me, it's like I'm doing something and I like. So I start to feel like a party. I don't move from my chair, but I start like 19th playlist pop, and then go to reggaeton, and I start to sing, and I don't know what I'm doing. It's like my mind divides. One is singing, and the other is drawing and moving notes from here to here. Not for spacing. I don't think I think while I'm doing spacing or scanning, but the creative part is like, in some point, I need to not be thinking on the letter that I'm drawing. It's like I split my head in two. I don't know. I don't know how, but it's more like a feeling that you are doing something that you like, and so it's like a party here in my studio.
Nice.
But do you like every aspect of the process? I mean, like mastering and kerning as much as sketching and drawing?
No, of course no. I can put like sad music to do the mastering part, but I will sing it also.
I was gonna say, like, one of the things that I listen to for like kerning, for example, is like what my friend Jackson calls fake heavy metal. So it's like shoegazy metal that I like just because it's like a wall of drone sounds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like Death
Sun
Heaven
O?
or whatever.
Do you know Sun O?
I couldn't even understand what you said, sorry.
Sun O?
Yes,
It's like very
exactly.
drony and just like
Yes. Exactly. But also actual, like even more drony music, also from other genres. Our friend Tanya Raposo introduced me to a composer called Callie Malone. She writes music for organs and string quartets and choirs.
I know it. Yeah.
And it's like the and suddenly 3 hours are gone.
Yeah.
Susanna really hates it when I put this on.
Connect the genres of music to the typefaces, like to typeface styles. Like the ambient music is like a text typeface.
I don't know what to answer. I don't think so, because I also don't like type classifications. I don't like the label and different stuff. And I think it's not about one way to solve things. Even in music, you can say pop, but there are like many pop music and they are different. So I don't know. I will let the guys do the answer now.
No, I also don't think I could do that. Like, I couldn't even say one particular typeface is like one particular kind of music, because most typefaces you can use in so many different ways. Like, in the hands of a good typographer, I have to think about, for example, Bernd Kuchenbeißer, one of the greatest book designers alive. He can make Arnhem look like Universe and vice versa, you know? There is no sonic equivalent that can do that.
Yeah, I'm afraid I agree. I also like, I don't know, I also started teaching some while ago, and one of my classes, they have to do like a typeface for something, and sometimes they have to do typeface for like a piece of music. And it's very interesting, not only what kind of music they bring to the class, but also what kind of letters they draw to it. And of course it could be, I mean, yeah, whatever they see in it. And it's never what I expect, but I think it's very interesting. But yeah, I think it could be anything. Whatever you feel, and also, I mean, it could change like with the mood, with the day, with whatever.
So I have a boring question. I mean, it's maybe too serious. Do you see the difference between how a historical context and history in general influences type design and musical composition?
Maybe, like, in a way, yes. Just like with musical composition in like the centuries past, like before the 20th century, we had like sort of one kind of paradigm for composition, right? And we, in the same way, we had like one kind of dominant paradigm for what typefaces look like. Dido didn't make any like Renaissance typefaces. That would have been really weird for him to do. Just like no romantic composer would have made Baroque music, you know, because that was the old style. And now, since the 20th century, we in both disciplines, we have like a multi-paradigmatic view where we make all kinds of different music and all kinds of different typefaces, and we can pick and choose from really different aspects of the respective histories of those two disciplines. It does happen though, and this is something that fascinates me in music, and that I wonder how there can be an equivalent in type design. So this morning, I was listening in the car. I brought the kids to school, and then on the way to school, we were listening to the soundtrack of Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea. Because the kids like to listen to this. On the way back, I was accidentally listening to 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul. And suddenly I noticed that The Magic Number by De La Soul is basically the same song as Brimful of Asha by Corner Shop. So there's this really clear, I imagine, there's this really strong reference where De La Soul sings, everybody wants to be a DJ, everybody wants to be an MC. And then like 10 years later, with a very similar rhythm, with a very similar melody, Chinder Singh from Corner Shop sings, everybody wants a bosom for a pillow. And it's like, wait, this is the same line, basically. And it was totally surprising to me, because I had listened to both songs a million times. I've never noticed it. And I find it interesting to do this sort of references in how it is possible to do those references in type design. You know, normally we make a typeface in the style of this or this or that. And it's very difficult, I think, or maybe I don't see the connection with how to do that with like a detail.
I also think that music, type, anything that we can produce as human beings to put out there in the world to be used by someone else, it's always has a cultural component, a social component, a context component. So it's hard to separate what's happening in around the world and put it a little bit of that in your work. So it's like the vision of the world at the moment, even if you are seeking to reference something in the past. And in type, I think that most of the time, the reference can be tricky because we are seeing something that's happening in the same time, in the same way. But again, it's like a big dialogue between things. So it's difficult to separate something from, it's like, for me, everything is built in at the same moment. So it has some reference between disciplines and between even people living in different places. It's a one big thing and can be like cross-reference things if inside the discipline or with another discipline or one other aspect of life, at least in the cultural and social and context of the way of seeing the world.
So might there be a musical revival? Oh, we're getting into classifications. Oh no.
I don't know. I think for me, for example, in type, we use revival in way too magic, like we talk something and revive it. What I don't understand. I think it's the version of someone drawing that thing. We are drawing the same letters once and another. We're not inventing anything. So every time we need to reference something that people can understand and feel comfortable and a little bit uncomfortable also. So it's like always referring to something else. Can be from type, can be from another discipline, can be from another thing. But I think letters are things that can be, and with a good connection with the outside world, you have to manage to find an excuse to have that relation going on. But I don't think that the only way to refer to the past or anything is by revival. I think that's something, at least for me, the concept is not working. It's like the cover version of a song, and you listen to a cover and maybe you really love the song and the cover is awful, or you hate the song, or you don't like the song, or you don't care about the song, and the cover likes you like most. So it's like the same thing, calling something and giving an extra touch of your version, of your vision, of your way to do things.
Yeah,
your question.
Cover versions are revivals, right? And I think we can learn something from that in a way, like that you need to have a good idea, a good approach for how to interpret something. Like, it's not just where you take it. It's not about where you take it from. It's where you take it to, as this saying goes. I happen to listen to a lot of revivals in a way, like a huge amount of the music that we listen to in the studio is like chamber music or solo recitals, solo piano music, like Beethoven, Brahms, Schumann, Schubert, Bach. And this is really, and we are very much into, let's say, comparative listening. The cool thing is, like there is 25 different kind of Garamond typefaces. There is also like 30 different recordings of like the Beethoven piano sonatas. And that is amazing to listen to it okay, now the same piece of music, I'm listening to the version from Mitsuko Ushida, I'm listening to the version from Clara Haskell, I'm listening to the version from Andras Schiff, I'm listening to the version from Fazil Say, and they all play the same music so differently, and like on a fundamental level, the way that they interpret the music becomes as important as the music themselves, right? Like nobody would buy or no music label would be interested in making a recording of something of a like such a well-known piece if it wasn't clear that the musician had like a really good idea about how to play it. Maybe the funniest things is when somebody does the same thing twice. So like in around the late 90s or in the year 2000 or so, Angela Hewitt, a fantastic pianist, she made a complete recording of the Well-Tempered Clavier by Bach. It's like 5 hours worth of music or something like this. And then she toured the world, and then she had a new piano built for her. And then she came back to her label and said, now I know how to play it. Let's make a new recording 10 years later. How amazing.
You can do that with type. Like a new version of an old classic.
I would argue
I'm not saying.
I think many people do that.
It actually happens not only because you have a new idea or something, or a new take on something. It also happens because of technology in type. Because you just have to update your typeface.
Yeah, or just the technology that you acquired, like now you like Kai said, now she knows how to play it. Like now all of a sudden I know how to draw it better, or I don't know, improved skills.
How do you feel when you see a typeface or listen to a piece of music? How do you realize when it will be rather timeless than just trendy, like trendy in a bad way?
Yeah, what's timeless?
The opposite. That's a
No, but
you can make...
it can be like trendy in a moment, die for a while, and then come back. Hobo had that history. Cooper. It's not something that you can say this one is going to be timeless. I think it's not like that. And I think the same with music. Each year people say like this is the album of the year. 2 years later, I don't remember the record, any song of that. And still you put me Backstreet Boys and I know all the lyrics and they are not timeless. I don't think there is one way to make something and say that this one is going to be, because it's not our job, because at some point it's the world deciding if that is going to last, or it's just going to be like passing by, or not even notice that it exists. Or there are typefaces that they're releasing and nothing happens, and 2 years later are a hit. And it's not the type design world to decide what is good and what is bad this year. I think we are choosing between our work because we like to see new typefaces all the time. But it's not our decision at the end. I think it's something that is going to be, if someone relates to the typeface, it's going to make him live longer if people keeps relating to that typeface.
I think it's more difficult, or I think it's difficult to compare the two things with regards to like longevity or so, because the one typefaces do have a strong like functional component to them. You know, they have a clear function that they need to fulfill, and the other big difference is that the one is like a finished product, and the other is like a raw material that somebody else can do something with. So it's, I have no idea what makes a timeless a typeface, because otherwise I'd be rich. But I also don't know what makes timeless music. I think they both have to be good. That probably helps. But for the rest, I have no idea.
Maybe it also has to do with something with neutral, which I guess Kai has some experience with. But yeah, I don't know. It's when you say like the timelessness is decided by someone else. But then again, it's not just decided by someone, but like, I don't know, like a society pretty much, like so many people can agree on it. And then there's also like pop music, which a lot of people can agree to because it's just like, I don't know, has no edges, no nothing. So I don't know, like yeah, people can just, there's like a consensus that most people can listen to it, but it doesn't make it good. And it usually, I don't know, I would say it doesn't stand the test of time. It's like, I don't know, yeah, it's difficult. And I also would say that even though you say like type is like a tool or something that it has a use, something, I would say the same to music. I don't know, music has a use to me, like I said before, like it creates, I don't know, a mood inside of me, or it supports a mood, or it gets me somewhere, or yeah.
Fer and Kai, what do you think? Does music have a use to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I said in the beginning, right? There is music that I like to use to think, like, and very very clearly, and I think that has now already become obvious, like that I look at what music does and what musicians does and try to think about how does that work for type design or for design in general. And music that I like to get performance enhancing music, so to speak, or music that I like to listen to because of the way that it makes me feel. Like that is a use, but it's, I would say it's slightly different than the utility of a typeface. But okay, I get that they both have a use. Yes.
Okay.
I agree. I don't have anything. I don't have anything to add.
I have the last question, comparing, asking you to compare music and type design. That is creating a typeface collection similar to writing an album? What do you think?
I don't have any idea on how to write an album. I don't know how to sing. I don't play an instrument, so I can speak for musicians. So I don't know how you think about that.
But if you see a collection, can you see it as a music album or vice versa?
Maybe. I mean, like for example, like they're like concept albums where there's like a red thread going through it. I don't know, or it creates a vibe or something. I could imagine that it might, or it could work for, I don't know, designers when they, I don't know, use like a certain idea or reuse a certain idea in more than one design. Maybe in that way. I don't know, but yeah, I understand albums. They usually they put a lot of work and order or structure the order of the songs, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily comparable to, or maybe like more modern albums. That's not comparable to modern albums. Or not, no, the other way around. Maybe it's not comparable to like how someone would build like a library. It's I don't know, those designs usually they don't necessarily have, they're not necessarily connected to one another, and usually I suppose like at least good albums they are usually, it's like a group of letters. Maybe an album is more like a typeface as such.
Yeah, I think that's actually really nice, right? Because like you said, Philipp, it would mean that you already know your next 10 typefaces and have a plan how to use certain themes in a reoccurring way, and have a plan about, okay, then the next one is this one, then the next one is this one, then the next one is this one, because the sequence, the ordering of an album is like super important, I think. But yeah, if you like think about like an album just like one typeface, where you have very clearly a red thread going through something, and it's not like any kind of album, I guess. There is like albums that can be much more diverse than the different characters in the typeface could be different from each other. But I also know some music that feels like, okay, this all makes sense. Like this is one, almost like a continuously composed thing.
Okay. Kai, I have a personal question for you.
Sure.
I've seen you trying to buy and sell concert tickets. Type of social.
Yes.
Do you find many type designers share your taste in music?
I don't think my tastes are that unusual. I was recently trying to sell 2 tickets for a Godspeed You Black Emperor show here in Porto, but for the very simple reason that I was very excited to see those tickets going on sale, and I bought more than I knew what to do with. I was like, fine, I'll just buy 4, whatever. And then I didn't have like 3 more people to go with me, and so I could unload 2 of them. And the other happens to be one of my favorite pianists, Mitsuko Ushida from Japan, playing some of my favorite music here in not in Porto but in Lisbon, and the concert tickets just, it's like in many big cities, you have a very famous performer. And they're all gone in like 5 minutes, to like the subscription holders and to the people who know exactly when the tickets for the season are released, and they're sitting at their computers. I don't know. Susanna shares my tastes in music for some part, very much doesn't in other parts. But I don't know a lot of type designers' music tastes, actually.
Do you Philipp and Fer, do you find a lot of people in type design community who share your taste in music?
I don't think so. I'm here with my Britney t-shirt. I give lectures with the t-shirt. I don't think so. Or at least they're not going to say it publicly. I built a whole lecture about Britney and the relation with type design, Kim Kardashian, and how that can we learn about being a type designer. So I don't think so, but I'm not the only one. I don't think I'm the only pop obsessed girl in the industry. But it's in some point I I think I can relate with others. I like jazz, I like other things, but my main taste of music, I don't think I know many people that are going to say, yeah, go, of course, reggaeton, yeah, I love it. I live by Daddy Yankee. No, I don't think so.
For the record, I do think Britney Spears is pretty cool. I like
Thank you, Kai.
I like Lovers. That's my favorite. That's my favorite of her albums.
Great. That's a good question for the next conference. I will be like, I did it once. Like, which is your favorite Britney song? If they give me like a good answer, I will give them postcards. I did only did once. It felt a little tricky to do that, but I did it.
Different song would be difficult for me to choose. It's something from Lovers, definitely. It has a bunch of good songs.
Would Kai get a postcard?
Of course. Just to name something about Britney, it's okay. Go ahead.
Actually, seeing your play, I felt before doing the playlist that the type design community is full of snobs, and they'll just open the emails and we'll know like no single musician from there. But actually, thanks to your playlist yesterday, my son, who's 2, had a friend coming over, and I turned on Backstreet Boys, and I was feeling so good. Like, I was not ashamed. I was having a time of my life. Despite
Wait, so I'm a snob now?
Everyone is a snob now. And I think everyone has different tastes in music for each moment in the week, in the month, in their lives. I don't separate like the music that I like and guilty pleasures that I love to put Backstreet Boys. I think everything is the same thing. When I was a teenager, I was in punk, but also listening to Backstreet Boys, and I didn't care. Like I can go to both. So in my head, everyone has many music that they like, but some of them, some of the genres feel like this is something for a party. I'm not going to say that I listen to Brad, and I listen to Brad. I dance with Brad. It's okay. And for me, like I'm more open about it, but I don't know. I'm not feeling that I'm the only one listening to 90s pop music. I know everyone likes it.
Definitely. Do you think a type designer can sometime become as famous as a rock star?
I'm going with no.
No, definitely not.
Some people doesn't even understand that we exist as a profession. So they don't know. They think that letters appear or they are using the same one because they're on the computer. So no. I love to, but no.
No. Why?
I think if one of us designs a typeface that, you know, can make somebody scream with joy or break down crying, then maybe we have a right to become as famous as a pop star. But I don't think that's gonna
And I
happen
don't
anytime
think
soon.
and I don't think that it works that way, because, for example, everyone has an opinion on Comic Sans, but nobody knows who made it, and nobody cares. At the end, we can be like pop stars with one typeface, maybe, but that's it.
So it's rather typefaces becoming stars instead of people behind them. That's upsetting. And I have another question, which came from YouTube. And it was questions about you dividing your type developing process into stages. Do you all divide it and select different music for it, or you prefer to handle the typeface development as a long single path?
Calling it a long single path still sounds too structured. I don't know about y'all. My and our processes are very, you know, circuitous and labyrinthine. It's like, okay, now I'm almost ready, and now I'm going to do this thing, and it's like, should the tea look like this actually? Or, you know, it's so non-linear for us, at least in most cases, because we never stop like questioning the decisions that we have made, which is not great. I don't recommend it, but I don't know. That's just how we work. So it's not like, okay, now I'm going to do this whatever part of the design work, and therefore I'm going to now put on this kind of music or whatever. It's more the other way around, that like, okay, today I need to solve some kind of a technical problem, and maybe it has nothing to do with the typeface being ready. Maybe it just has to do with the fact that I can no longer generate the typeface even for myself and make proofs or something like this, right? So suddenly you're confronted with some sort of a moment where you have to switch gears, and then I can no longer listen to Lovers, and I need to start listening to drony fake metal again, because I need to concentrate on something really precisely. But honestly, in these kind of moments, what I usually do is I turn the music off, and I need actual silence.
I never turn my music off. I can be left alone with my thoughts. I think I agree with something. It's not about the moment of the process that I'm in. It's more about the mood of the day, because maybe I'm struggling with some more technical issues, but I'm in a good mood. So I don't need like something, especially for that task that I need to do. For me, it's like changing between moods of the day, or maybe if I get stuck with something, I change the music that I'm listening to, but not because I'm changing the moment of the process on the design. Maybe I'm just stuck with something and I need to change for something more, I don't know, fun. Maybe I'm stuck and I need fun music to go with, or more chill music, stop thinking. Or maybe I put songs that music that has no lyrics, so I can sing. That's my go instead of turn it off. I go and put things that I can sing. I cannot sing.
Interesting. I think I will go with Kai. It's like, you know, when you, I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you're in a car with someone and there's loud music, and all of a sudden they need to park somewhere and they turn down the music because they need to concentrate now. It's like that when I have to do, I don't know, mastering, or there's something that I don't understand, and all of a sudden, or I don't know, like a feature doesn't work, and all of a sudden I cannot export. Like, kind of, okay, now I need to actually pay attention.
There is another question. I think we don't have much time left. And the question is, do you think cancel culture is harder on musicians than on typographers and type designers?
Well, I would say, I mean, yeah. Well, let's assume there is such a thing. Then, yeah, probably, because I don't know, like we said before, people actually know musicians and not really know type designers. I think if there's some kind of cancellation happening, it's happening between ourselves. Like, I mean, no one else cares about type designers than we do. So
Yeah, exactly. Like it basically, if the 17 people that know about Eric Gill suddenly stop using Perpetua, actually nothing happens. I mean, specifically not to Gill because he's dead, thank God. But you know, it's on a very different scale than I don't know what musician would you like me to cancel now? What? I don't. Yeah, well, okay. Yes. Yeah. People. Exactly. People know the musicians, and then and I think people do want to be able to have some sort of connection with the musicians. What happened with Barenboim? I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat here on the side. But Barenboim was not cancelled. Barenboim says he has Parkinson's. Oh, Barenboim Jr. maybe. Sorry, I'm talking with Sebastian in the chat now. Sorry.
I will say that we are not public figures, so people don't care. And even inside the community, I don't know many of the type designers community, and I don't know. I don't know them, or I don't know if they did something. It's only gossip that maybe gets on Twitter, and not even on Twitter not right now. So it's hard. But I guess again, it's something that it stays in the community because we are the only ones talking about ourselves. No one else is talking about us.
I want to get a bit to the point when we were discussing that no one is screaming from joy seeing a typeface. Don't you feel emotional connection to typefaces? And have you never screamed from joy seeing a typeface?
Only in anger, or in envy, maybe. You know this feeling.
Yes.
You know this feeling when you see somebody like extremely talented or extremely good, just knock it out of the park to such a way that you're like, well, I guess I'm gonna throw my laptop out of the window and I'm done with type design. Because like, what's after this? What's even the point? But again, that's just us, right? That's not like the normal people who only, in quote marks, consume typefaces. Not even the people. I don't think even most typeface users have such strong feelings. They might really like a typeface, but not like, I don't know. I don't think it can touch people as emotionally as music can.
And the very last question, as we mentioned already, I think thrice, that no one knows who type designers are. Would you like for type designers to be more public? Like everyone to know them, meaning you?
no, it's awesome to work from the shadows, so to speak. I don't know. It's good.
I feel the same. I don't want to be known. I think I think we choose our work to be like that, like the outside that we show, it's our work and not ourselves. So that I'm okay with that. So every time that I see someone choosing to use one of my fonts, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And not because it's a big success or anything, like someone is choosing to use my font for this project. And that's it. I'm not seeking for people to be fans of me. Please don't do it. Of any type designer, please don't. But I think the relation is between the thing between me and the rest of the world is my work. So I can grow and build something and change it, and no one is going to say to me things about my life. It's about the things that I'm showing.
Kai, do you agree?
I think all of us teach, and in that way we have the pleasure and the privilege of being able to touch a lot of people's lives, and to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. I don't need to do that for everybody in the world. It would be very scary. And it's a lot of responsibility that I wouldn't want. And yeah, no, I'm happy to, I'm happy not to be known in that way.
I think it just was a wonderful ending, but if you still want to add something, you can add now anything connected to type design or music or both.
I think we have more opinions on music than I expected, because I enter here like I don't know what I'm talking about. It was okay. It turned out fine, I think.
It's all about feeling the music, not about nothing. Okay. Can you disagree with me?
Do you have something to say?
I think it's not all about feeling. Like I do think you can get really excited on an intellectual level about music. You know, it's just not a purely emotional thing. Just like making music is also an intellectual activity, not just a play or emotional or whatever.
It's the same with type.
Maybe sometimes I wish that it would be more emotional.
No, but I think you can have a technical approach to type design at least, and you can have like a really creative art approach. But in the middle, you have to do the good balance between the technical part doing what your heart is telling you to do. And it's the same. I think I'm not a musician, so I'm not saying that I know what this feels like. But it's not just knowing the program and knowing how to draw. It's not the best approach to have a good. It's not the only approach to have a good typeface. It's the same thing. You have to put something of you, of your heart, of your vision, of your culture, of what you like, what you feel. If you go full with the feeling, maybe the technical part is not working and you try to export and it's not working. So it's a good balance between make something technically okay and make something that has a soul in it. You can disagree.
No, I think there was a correct and very nicely put statement.
Do you also agree with that?
Sure.
Me too. So I think that's it. Thank you all for this discussion. It was really nice talking to you, and it was really interesting. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank
It was
you.
nice to talk to you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to listen.
Bye.
I'm going to listen to Yak.